force and hold me fast. The magic will who cares? This is the beyond road. When you kiss me, emphasize, and though I close my eyes, I see the beyond road. When you press me in your arms, and in the world apart, our roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and every day will be a beyond road.
I was born in Toluca County, just a whisper away from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Oh, what a beautiful place. So sleepy you can feel it yawn. The grass and leaves just sparkling with morning dew, while that golden trees switch and sway in the summer breeze, and some old dogwood and orange blossom bloom right side one another, like days in a race. Mama said I was a happy baby, just smiling all the time. Even when I had to share her tit with the missus children, I would smile and coo like a little pigeon. Mama said I was her pride and joy, her secret happiness, especially because I was my daddy's son. Spitting image, breast of bone, strong as an oxen, tougher than you. So Mama gave me the name Jacob from the Bible story. You best believe Mr. Thompson was much obliged to Mama and Daddy for such prime stock to work his field. Even though us only 3/5 of a man, I guess that's more than enough according to the Emancipation Proclamation, which I think was a good thing except nothing came off the paper. Nothing changed except the name. Plantation became the farm, master became Mr., slave became sharecropper. But the overseer, that rascal stayed the same, and so did his job, making sure you know what is allowed and what ain't. Oh yeah, we's plenty free. Free to work sun up to sundown, free to work our patch of land and see a good profit, and free to watch the mister take it all after figuring what we owe for renting the land, the seed, the mule, and the cost of getting it to the market. Further, we free to help him plant, tend, and bring in his crop for free. I guess that's considered common courtesy on account of us being so free and all. Yeah, that's about right. America, Deep South 1915. That's about all freedom, boy. More than likely, if you was born on that farm, you died on that farm. You belong to the plantation. You belong to the farm just like the horses and the cows. And if you had a problem with the Lord Son, the mister will take care of it. If you had a problem with him, and you got yourself a mighty big problem. I grows up fast as a weed and strong as an oak tree. They made sure my young life was hard and my work life even harder. You could hear the overseer screaming at those aching bodies and broke down spirits that left near the end of the day. Oh.
If I had wings, I'd fly away. If I had wings, I'd fly away. If I had wings,
He knew.
I'd fly away.
Oh.
Down here.
He knew.
He cut my cross, put it on my
He
shoulder,
knew.
pack up my wings,
Oh.
fly away.
He knew.
If I had
knew.
wings,
He.
I sure wouldn't be down here.
Get up, Neil. Get on up.
If I had
Get up, Neil. Giddy up. Get up, Neil. Get on up.
If I had wings,
Come on, Neil. Giddy up. Giddy up.
I'd fly away. If I
There's
had
more ground to duck you.
I'd fly away.
You dump back and flex. You don't need no rest. Sun going down. You better turn that ground.
Put it on my shoulder.
Get up, Neil. Get on
Pack
up.
up my wings.
Come on, Neil. Giddy up.
If I
Get up, Neil. Get on up. Come on. Giddy up. Giddy up. Oh, Neil. Whoa. Oh, Neil. Whoa.
To fly away.
Whoa, Neil. Whoa.
Wings.
He.
To fly away. packed up my wings, fly away to glory. If I had wings, I sure wouldn't be down here.
By the end of the day, I wonder who they calling the mule. The one in the harness or the one holding the rein. Come think of it, I never know my mama, daddy asking or wanting or having not even so much a wish or a dream. My daddy said dreams is an awful thing for a Negro, especially if the mister finds out about you, lose everything, even your life. I don't care. I'm going to keep dreaming, laughing, smiling, even if it kills me. Be careful what you ask for, because God got a mighty strange sense of humor. And he'll hold you to it. But what you know, just when the sun won't shine no more, there comes a rainbow in the sky. Here comes Saturday night. Ha! We called it Fool's Night on the counter. We's actually fool. We meet up in my daddy juke jack in the woods. You can find it easy by the smell of fish sizzling and steaking hot grease, caked in meal and frying hard. Yes, sir. Fresh collards and tater pie. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. And for dessert, my daddy best moonshine, the apple and the jack. Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, we be singing and dancing, hooping and hollering, us cutting up something terrible, having a good old time and loving every damn bit of it. Come Sunday morning, though, we get up under that tree and we have ourselves some church. Man, we get to jigging and jumping, we get to shouting and proud and praising to God. Yeah, something powerful. Oh, yeah. And we get to passing around the spirit to the angels saying, y'all go ahead on there. Then they join in too. After we fully blessed, we get back in them fields for Sunday picking. And that's the way it was, year in and year out. Well, one particular Saturday night, I grabbed a jug of Applejack and told my daddy I was going to see this gal I met who lived in the next county. My daddy said, no, you can't go. We got to have morning picking before we take the cotton to the weigh-in. You know, Mr. Thompson will win that prize money, it'll be hell and fury on us. My mouth said, uh-huh. But my nature sided otherwise. Ooh. First time I saw that black Cherokee princess, all I could say was, sweet Jesus. A body with more curves than the Mississippi. Purely black hair shining like blackbirds in the sun. Honey brown eyes, smooth cinnamon skin, and the most beautiful name in the world. Ayuka. Have mercy on me. Woo. I hot delivery and goes according. And I drank some, and sang some, and wrote some, and yeah, just singing my honeybee song for my honeybee. Wow! Listen to the beauty of the honeybee song. Drink the sweet gold right from the honeycomb. Gathering nectar from flowers, pollen, and trees, bringing sweetness to the world naturally. Dancing with sweet anticipation, the fragrance of love all over creation. The secret of living is the secret of giving. As the honey goes, the honey knows. Let it go, let it flow, and if it comes back, it's yours. Little bees buzzing all around, making love without a sound. Drunk with the feeling of this sweet thing, drinking the honey of the honeybee. Sweet as the tree, sweet as the leaf, sweet as the vine, sweet as the tea, sweet as the magic that turns the key in the sweet life of the honeybee. Oh, the secret of living is the secret of giving. As the honey goes, the honey knows. Let it flow, let it go, and if it comes back, it's yours. Yeah, I seen the house. I didn't wait for the driver to pull up, so I jumped off and just the commenced falling all over myself. Whew, I see that gal. I said, hey, little honeybee, get ready for me. It ain't gonna hurt, but it's gonna stand. Us lay up all night talking about life, stuck together like honey. I forget to live your home. The morning picking, the cotton fields, all I could think about was that sweet honey in my arms. Before Quick got ready, we were round, down, up, under, in, through there all night long. We slept past morning till noon, which made me know never mind. I pressed Ayuka close to me and crowed good and loud. County fair's in town and we's going. I'm so proud to have her on my arm, I just crow like a rooster. Then I hear a familiar voice. It's my papa. Boy, what the devil got into you? And my mama, is you all right, baby? Mama, daddy, just hear my sweetheart, Ayuka. Where the hell you been? Mr. Thompson, look at me and he's a boiling matter horn. I said, where you been, boy? You missed the morning picking in the cotton way. I be's where I be. I'm free to go where I want and do as I like. Oh, look at you now. All hooked up. You cost me that prize money, and I'm going to take it out of your eye. I'm free! Free! That's when it all happened. Seemed like the sun just fell out the sky and everything started to unlatch like my shoes before I go to bed at night. Mr. said, this boy wants to show his ass in front of the people. Let's help him out, boy. It seemed like the sheriff and the deputies just came out of nowhere. Commenced holding my mom and my daddy back. My mom would say, please, don't hurt my boy, please. And my dad would say, Mr. Thompson, sir, please, Mr. Thompson, we'll get it back for you next year, sir. We'll get it back for you next year. And then my daddy looked at me and he said, oh, Jake, I tried to tell you, son. Last thing I saw, they threw my honey through the crowd. Last thing I heard, he said, this boy wanted to show his ass, let's help him out, boys. I had to cut my clothes off again. Put me something terrible. When I waited, I was in my mama's shop. Busted like a bronco, but they ain't break me. No, sir. They ain't break me. Next Saturday, I get all dude up and my dad said, boy, where is you going? I said, to see my little honeybee. He said, boy, don't you know if Mr. Thompson finds out you be with that girl, he promised he gonna give you a beating. Well, I promise I'm gonna be happy even if it kills me. My daddy said, boy, you best believe he gonna keep his promise. And so am I. And so am I. My daddy just looked at me and smiled. Well, Mr. Thompson kept his end of the bargain. So did I. I reckon me and him had a yard full of scuffles, and me and Ayuka had a house full of babies. Years passed by like the folks in my boy Benjamin run off me and Yuka sick with worry. He's so book smart, he can't think straight, say he wants to see the world and find himself. That never ever even crossed my mind. I wonder if my daddy was right, dreaming too much can be a bad thing for the neighborhood. Yeah. I guess the only thing worse is not dreaming at all. I sure hope that boy remembers what my daddy told me. What is I gonna do? Standing on the road, don't know where to go. Then I heard him say, humble is the way. Yeah.
get me one. Woo! I might take the plane, I might take the train. I'm gonna get there anywhere I can. Oh, Kansas City, here I come. Woo, baby! Ha. Kansas City, here I come. Ooh, put it down and pick him up. Oh, let's be having a mic on the set. Oh, Kansas City, here I come. Woo, baby! Ow, Kansas City, here I come. Woo! Now, some people are good at winning, and some people are not. Easy money on a sure bet is those who are not turned out to be cantankerous contestants every time without exception. So says the fox to the hare that was see them dice. You lucky that a one-legged rabbit shouldn't fall with clovers. Woo! Now, we won, and next thing I know, I'm fighting over my winnings. And like clockwork, Kansas City Spartans. Hey, now gentlemen, you wouldn't happen to be in a friendly game of craps, would you? Everybody froze stiff. Then the cop goes, whose money is that? Everybody thawed out just enough to point at me. So the cop goes, we going downtown. We think the judge would like to see you in the morning. And I said, I'm sure he doesn't want to see me. And they said, we sure he does. So morning comes in there, hold me in front of the judge. And he takes one look at me. And he goes, Ben Willis, weren't you just in my courtroom going drunk and disorderly? Yes. And then he said, didn't I tell you then I don't want to see you in my courtroom no more? That's what I tried to tell them, Your Honor. And to be perfectly honest, the D&D wasn't entirely my fault. Now, you would think that these fine establishments in our great city were no better than to serve firewater to a good, upstanding Indian like myself. Then he goes, yo, man, are you trying to make a fool of me? And I said, yes, I mean, no. I said, Your Honor, does the court recognize that I enlisted and served this country with honor and distinction as a Navy seaman in our most recent war effort in Europe? And he said, yes, it does. Take your pick, jail or fine. Well, how much for the fine? He said $100. Well, how many days in jail? He said 30. Get my bed ready. Now, we call this the Great Society because it's a society within a society with its own set of rules and regulations. And I don't mean those set by the Department of Corrections. This here is a university for crooks. Now, I bet you that there's more knowledge between these walls than the great library of Alexandria. Everybody knows everything except how to stay over here. Now, you may come in here as a two-bit crook, but if you leave, you will leave as a professional career-minded criminal and in good standing. Tick-tock, says the hand on the clock. You got nothing but time to craft your hustle and get it right. Well, that's 30 days to the good or the bad. It depends on how you look at it. I see it as a good thing because my friend Bill will be here to pick me up and his brand new 1948 Thunderbird as soon as they cut me loose. And he's bringing his new one to meet me, Queen Josephine. Now, she's the old girlfriend. She's the new girlfriend. That's what I'm saying. She's the new girlfriend of his old girlfriend, Miss Lucille. Everybody calls her Queen Josephine because she takes whatever she wants without permission. She stole the dimes off a dead man's eyes. She stole Bill right from under Miss Lucille. No apologies, no regrets. And I'm sure Miss Lucille didn't lose no sleep. Hell, she probably broke out her tambourine. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Ben, this is my new girl I wrote you about, and her sister, Miss Lucille.
From the moment me and Lucille shook hands, I knew we were in for a ride. I was smitten by the mitten of this lovely brown kitten. We took off flying free and easy in that brand new Thunderbird, ending up at dinner to discuss our brand new business opportunities, which included the girls. Now, the plan was for them to invite their uptown friends and co-workers downtown for a friendly hand or two of cards or dinner. While they were there, we would be robbing them. When they returned, they'd find the place ransacked, they would call the police, report it to the insurance company. We would wait a few days, stop by, offer our concerns, bring a cake, like a good friend should. Probably should be shamed, but I'm not. The four of us, we were inseparable. Miss Lucille became Lucy, then Syl. and she called me Mr. Honey, the honey man. Oh, we were like two peas that together in the pod. Now, sometime later still, she graduated from cosmetology school, and she set up shop in the house, and I still hustle a bit to make ends meet. But most of my time was spent right beside my sweet Sill. Love is a funny thing, though. In the morning, it's smiling at you, and by nighttime, it's growling at you, and never does it travel in a straight line. One evening, after a passionate argument, this mean old whiskey of mine told me to offer my sweet Sill a beating. Now, of course, she didn't decline that. The next morning, while she was shaving me, I felt something dripping down my neck, and I jumped up real quick. And I said, "Woman, have you lost your damn mind?" She said, "No, lover, but you about to lose yours and everything that comes along with it. You too much sugar for a dime, now enough for 15 cents. Now get your ass out of here before I finish you off." Needless to say, we had to take a break. Now, too much good loving can just be so hazardous for your health. But so I was crazy and lonely without my sweet. So all I did was drink. I tried to drink the county dry. But later on, she let me back in the house. After all, we still had the twins to look at, Theodore and Ronald. And she even made my favorite meal, fried okra, ham hocks, and cornbread. As I was polishing off my meal, she put her arms around me real tight. And she said, "Mr. Honey, when you gonna stop all this foolishness and drinking?" And I said, "When the good Lord take the taste out of my mouth." But be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. The next day I saw CJ, one of my old crew. He was passing through town. He said, "Hey, Ben, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing all right." He said, "Listen here, whatever happened to that little pretty warrior princess of yours?" And I said, "You mean the one that cut my throat?" He said, "Yeah, her. Whatever happened to her?" I said, "I married her." Oh, we hooted and we hollered and we had a good time. He said, "Look here, I know these cats that got a setup for a big payday. They need a drop-off guy and a delivery guy." I told him Bill and I would be up to it. Now, he told us the plan was to take all the number receipts from the east end, drop them off to the west side, and the West Side boys would provide for the protection we would be needing, and they split the take with us 50-50. Now, the plan went off without a hitch. Later on that night, I heard somebody hard knocking at my door, and it was CJ. Now, he was sweating, and he was crying. And he said, "Bill didn't make the drop. He took the money, and he's gone." I slammed that door, and I double-locked it, and my thoughts, they just took off racing. And suddenly, to take the brakes. Never trust anybody with everything. The players change all the time, and so does the game. I picked up my bottle of whiskey, and I took me a sip drink, and I took me another one, and another one, and another one, till I just lost count. All I know is I ended up outside on the curb in a steward, and Ronald was next to me. And I saw Steele. She was screaming something and charging at the house, so there was something inside that she needed. Oh. Theodore. Where's my other son at? Once they put the fire out, no. They found him huddled in the closet holding his little dog. He went back to get that puppy. So she started screaming at me. She said, "It's all your fault." And I knew it was. I knew who did it. And I knew why. As they took my son's body away, I fell to my knees. I was handcuffed in guilt and bound in shame. And I was just buried in pain. All I had was my whiskey and my bottomless glass. Crack open the bottle, pull back the throttle. We're blasting off the moon next stop. Sweet world goodbye, I'm riding high. On my new wings, misery and suffering. No family, no job, no house, no home. Everything's gone, 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 gone. Do, 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 do. Ooh. It's just me and you, and this mean old whiskey blue. blues. Come on, have a taste. You know the smell. It's the pit of hell. Ain't no one to tell. Well, it's just me and you. And it's mean, oh, I mean mean, oh, I mean mean, oh, whiskey blue. Destroyed my life. And I lost my family. My son. And I hate myself for it. So come on, devil. Come on. You took everything. You took it all, so come on. Come on, take me. Take me, I'm ready. That's not her voice. And instead, Benjamin. Now, I thought my whiskey was talking to me. Then the voice said, Benjamin, son of Jacob and Iuka. So I asked, who are you? And the voice said, I have many names, but you should call me the Lord thy God, and you should be my messenger. And I said, you can do a lot better than that. I'm just a drunk, a liar, and a thief. And then the voice said, yes, I know all of that, but I love the sinner. And from this moment forth, I remove the taste of whiskey from your mouth. Cleanse your heart of anger and greed, and free your mind of shame and pain. The voice said, let the gospel flow from it like the ocean to the sea. Spread the good news of never-ending joy and everlasting peace. Like the mighty river of the forest, you should stand and you should not fail. Let prayer be your rock and the gospel your shield. And it said, go forth, Deacon, and tell them that I am Alpha and Omega, a healer and a friend, a way out of no way, the fullness therein below and above. Mount of Calvary, I died and I rose, and I am forever and forever my name is love. It said, go, good Deacon, and speak my name. Be unafraid. Tell them I'm coming. I'm on my way. And when I get there, we're going to fly away. Oh, what a fellowship. What a joy divine. Leaning on the everlasting arms. What a blessedness. What a peace of mind. Leaning on the everlasting arms. We are leaning, oh, we're leaning. Say, I need you from all the wrongs. We are leaning, oh, we're leaning on the everlasting arms. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The doors of the church are open. Will anyone come today? I will. We will. Greater is he that's in me than he is in the world. We ought to thank God for being so good to us. He's better to us than we ought to ourselves. We ought to thank him for waking us up clothed in our right mind with a reasonable portion of our health. God is good today just like he was yesterday. Let me tell you how I know. You see, I always walk this way. Now, sir, not so long ago, I was sitting at the gates of hell. And I met a man and he said his name was Jesus. He picked me up and he turned me around and he placed my feet up on a higher ground. I'm telling you, whatever the problem is, he can fix it, I tell you. He's a doctor with an office that never closes. Let him operate on you and you won't be the same no more. Why don't you come to Jesus? Catch your spirit and come on home. Catch your spirit and come on home. Say hallelujah. 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 Thank you. Hallelujah. After church, Sil and I arrived home to find Ronnie there waiting for us on the porch with one of his many girlfriends named Shane, a little sling-eyed black Indian girl around the age of 14. I said, oh, what a fine service we had today. And still she agreed with me. Ronnie replied, I'm glad you and Mama are going to church. Enjoyed yourself, but I came to tell you that I'm going away. I said, well, Ronnie, look at you. All puffed up, ready to take over the world without any idea where you're going and what to do when you get there. Not to mention you and this little girl living in sin. I said, I thought we taught you better than that. Ronnie lashed out at me and said, now what lesson would that be? The one about lying? The one about stealing? Or I know the one about cheating. He said, I'm all the hell that you raised. That's all the hell that I've become. And I said, well, son, that was then and this is now. And God forgave us, and I pray you will too. But this house serves only one master. And Ronald said, I serve none. I said, well, son, if that's how you feel, then you have to go. But before you leave, I'll just share this with you, that wherever you go, whatever you do, you will always be my son. And I will share with you the last words I heard my daddy say. What is I'm going to do? Standing in the road, don't know where to go. And I heard them say, humble is the way. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, 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 this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine.
March, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Column left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Column right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eyes right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In place. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halt. Parade. Rest. Headies. Fall out. Life in the military came as no surprise. When Shang's mother, Big Camille, found out that her cherry had been plucked off of her tree, that her tree was about to bear fruit, she tracked me down. Now, I don't know if she knocked me out or if I passed out, or this was before or after I peed on myself. But I do know that when I came to, she was standing over me, big as a polar bear and mean as a grizzly. She had me backed into a corner, pinned down under her weight. Then she took her big bear claws, wrapped them around my neck and said, "Oh, you're going to find a good job. And then you all get married." Now, I shook my head so fast my ears were flapping like winds. Now, lacking in academic will and slacking in social skills, I knew I had three choices: the farm, the factory, or the army. It was an easy choice, and I didn't mind it at all. I knew I'd get a good job. I was high yellow with hazel eyes, looking Indian like my grandmama, with a mountain of muscles like my granddaddy. I knew I could depend on good old-fashioned racism. And I was right. They took one look at me and made me administrative assistant to the munitions officer. Now, my daddy, he never had too much good to say about the Army, or serving in the war. Although he'd go on forever about war, the politics of war, the recent assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and how the same thing would happen to Bobby Kennedy if he decides to run the next election. Now, my grandmama said they killed the president because he tried to help black people. That had nothing to do with us. We might not be white, but we sure as hell ain't black. Now, I could care less about politics or war or which Kennedy's in the White House. All I care about is money and women. That's all, folks. The GOP wants to pay me good money to be stationed in a country we're no longer at war with. I'm happy to take it. Hell, I could be spending my tour of duty in Nam, being properly introduced to napalm and Agent Orange, all in the name of freedom, which is not at all free. In fact, it's quite expensive, and somebody's got to pay for it. I'm good right here. I send enough money home to take care of Shang and the baby. Then, it's the weekend, y'all, and I'm spending it all. Every weekend, rain or shine. Foxy Fraulines in every color and size, titillatingly talented in the art of romance. As long as you include a little finance. Which, in case you didn't know, is legal here in Deutschland. This might not be heaven, but it's close enough for me. In the military, time seems to move according to the things going on around it. It's like anywhere else. Today, I got a letter from my aunties informing me that my little princess of a wife has been having some weekend maneuvers of her own and is now pregnant with another man's child. They think it best I come home and divorce her. First of all, it'd be a good bet that I got a few toddlers of my own here in Germany. But that's besides the point. So I'm not the type of guy who thinks what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Mad as hell, I arranged for leave before I even finished the letter. I flew home like an old dragon, snorting smoke and spitting fire. I came in the house blazing. I'm the one with the right to work and pay all the bills. So I have all rights, and you got the rights I give you. The right to cash the check I send, the right to be faithful to me, and the right to do what I say. Your failure to live within your rights grants me the right to take away all your damn rights. Now, she reminded me that I had cheated since we had met. I shouted, a hot poker has no conscience. And she screamed back, a hot pocketbook don't either. Although my pride was a bit scraped up and sorely humiliated, neither of us wanted to break up. But the women in my family wouldn't eat, sleep, or drink till we did. So, when the divorce proceedings were finished, the baby came, and I went. And after a lot of back and forth, I got reassigned to a base in Kansas. And we got back together, and believe it or not, remarried. The stork delivered 7 more babies to us. Now, I think he got the address wrong getting the last one, but I kept it anyway. Chang was an excellent mother and domestic engineer, as well as a professional baby trainer. She had 9 babies in 10 years, never had 2 in diapers or on the bottle at the same time. I tell you, those kids were in the Army. She had it all under control. And I was MIA, an invisible dad. They knew I was there because everything was paid for, but they never saw me. Once I told her I'd babysit to give her a break. She told me that's called spending time with your children. And even still, it backfired on me because I took them with me to go see a girlfriend of mine, who also happened to be my cousin. So she gave them plenty of candy and ice cream. And they shared the good news as soon as their little hoofs at the front door. We were fussing and fighting all night, which usually ended in doing the hunting. But this particular night, all she could talk about was how all this was hurting her children. And how much she loves her children. So I got pissed off, and I ran into the bedroom when they were asleep, and I told her, I'll kill all your damn kids. And she was shouting and crying, and so were they. And I started beating her right in front of them. And in the scuffle, my son Chuck got hit in his private trying to protect her and had to be taken to the hospital, which finally brought an end to that crazy-ass night. I wasn't serious about hurting my kids. That's just the way I am when I don't get my way, and that's all it is to it. Because my grandmama always told me, you tell people what you want, you make sure they hear you, then they can do things the way you like, and you can have it all your way. Jury's still out, but so far it's not working. Anyhow, later that day, as I'm trying to apologize, I reminded Shang again how her second child happens to be living in my house. With the rotting smell of doom hanging in the air, she sighed. How long? How long do I have to keep paying for that mistake? Without stuttering, I very slowly replied, forever. She bowed her head in concession and said, "I'm sorry, but that's just too long." And I didn't know what that meant at the moment. But it wasn't long before I found out. I came home after being gone for a few days, which was normal with my new job at KCMO Fire Department. When I got there, Shang was gone, and so were the kids and all their clothes. When we finally spoke, I sensed something different about her. She had found something that I could never afford. Hope. Standing on her own with those kids and no help, it should have broke her spirit and her back. Instead, it built her up into this brand new woman with courage, well aware of the decision she made and willing to pay whatever the cost. I knew she would never come back to me. This family would never be mine again. But I just couldn't understand it. You know, here I am, a good man with a good job, and she leaves me over a few fights. Can you believe that? Hell, I'm free. Free to do what I want, when I want, with whoever I want. No one to care for but myself. I even changed jobs and became a union welder. And it seems more money brought more women. Everything was just perfect. Then came the baby boom. If I looked at a girl too long, she got pregnant. I kept a sense of humor, and I made her into a standing joke. They call me Johnny Appleseed. Appleseed Johnny. Oh yeah, that's me. They call me Johnny Appleseed. Appleseed Johnny. Oh yeah, that's me. I climbs my woman like a tree, pull up on her branches, ruffle her leaves, slide down her trunk, and do, and do, and do the deed. And the months go by, you will see, in 9 or less there will be a little Johnny Apple me sprouting from your apple tree. Apple me on your apple tree. Apple me on your apple tree. They call me Johnny Appleseed. Appleseed Johnny. Oh yeah, that's me. All my boys are cool cats, and all my girls stone foxes. I love all my kids, much as possible, no matter what their mamas say. Maybe when they're older, I could explain everything. Well, surely as we're born, the beat goes on. From pillar to post, somehow I managed to stay ahead of the curve. The more I got, the quicker I didn't want it, and the crazier I was when I didn't have it. Felt like something had put a hole in me. Everything inside was falling out. So my grandmama, she took me to go see the old blind root woman, who can tell you what's wrong with you and how much it's going to cost to fix it. First thing she asked was, "Well, what's your name, son?" I said, "Ronnie." She laughed and said, "Oh, I know a whole lot of Ronnies and ain't none of them no damn good." Then she laughed and said, "Mm-hmm. They got you on the run, them girls do." I said, "What girls?" She said, "All of them. You go from one to the other and they all cursing you." Well, we all got a weakness or something that's just no good for us. Superman had the kryptonite, you got the superwomen, am I right? Then she said, "You know, son, mother used to be just like you. Oh, I was drinking and smoking, cutting and fighting the men, the police, everybody." And that's when God took my sight from me. Whew. I was so glad I didn't know what to do. Yes, Lord, mother was a booger bear, you hear me, son, just like you. Mm-hmm. Best thing I can tell you to do is run. Run like your ass is on fire and don't look back, because evil's tracking you like a bloodhound. I'm still going to bless you before you go, so make sure to put $20 in that cup. I made a mad dash to Iowa. Slowly, I started feeling better, even confident about the future. I started going to new places, meeting new people, new women. Everything was collected, calm, and cool. Then guess who showed up? Me. I jumped on the crazy train again, and this time it went express. Women on parade, 24 hours a day. Big women, small women, fat women, tall women, starlets, vixens, and beauty queens. One who looked like Flip Wilson's Geraldine. Definitely not. But more than a few unscrewed my top. Losses quickly outweigh the gains. The pleasure never equals the pain. No child support, going back to court, laid off for work, lowered my wage with last month's rent, bills to pay. Games, parties, and midnight runs. Clean out your checkings and savings. Your kids' college funds. Health and happiness start to slip away. Borrowing from tomorrow, pay for today. Just when you think things can't go no further south, that's when the bottom completely falls out. My ex-wife Shang, she called to say it. My son was murdered just yesterday. She paid for my ticket with the airlines so I could bury the future I left behind. It's too late for her. I'm sorry. There's no more time. My body returned to Iowa without my mind. They say God takes care of babies and fools. Well, this fool had been stomped into mulch. It was time for me to try something else. The wings of mercy brought me through the doors of my father's church. But it was the gift of desperation that made me stay and do the work. I became a deacon in that same church. I finally realized that loving thy neighbor does not include making love to thy neighbor's wife. Who would have guessed it? But I had a new lease on life. I stayed in Kansas City and I found my way back into the lives of my children. By now, most were grown and had gone their own way. They're part of that new computer generation that moves much faster than I can even think, so just try to be there for them in any way I can. They say God won't give you a cross you cannot bear. But that's hard to remember when the weight of it brings you to your knees. Today, the police, they found my daughter Dina. Seems her boyfriend had beaten and raped her. stabbed her and shot her and threw away the body. All I could think was, what kind of man could do all that? What kind of animal could do that to a woman, knowing that she has children? What kind of monster could do all that to another human being? Paralyzed by the truth, I realized, me. I was that man, that monster. I valued a woman according to what I wanted. And when I was through, there was no thought of her at all. I would throw her away, like something I was finished with. Humbled by the truth, I know it's too late to save my little girl. But it's not too late to save someone else's. I will be that change that I want to see in the world. I will not wait for it. I will be it. I buried myself in work for the church, hoping it would buy me some absolution. But then I realized it's probably not for sale. Whatever I did, I could find no peace. They say time heals all wounds, but it doesn't. It just stitches them up. Meanwhile, my time was well spent. I met a wonderful soul of a woman named Lavinia. A holy roller, and a good one at that. She helped me to find peace. We could never stop laughing when we were together. Eventually, we got married and moved to Des Moines, so I could be near my sister who had just recently taken ill. Staring right in my eyes, she said, "Well, how do you feel?" I said, "How do I look?" She said, "Good. You look good." I said, "Tell the truth and shame the devil." She said, "Ronnie, you look like death riding a soda cracker." I said, "That's exactly how I feel." Boy, we laughed till it hurt. And what a wonderful send-off. We spent hours on end looking at pictures of the children, remembering times we spent together. Once I asked her, "Well, whatever happened to that boy who killed our son Chuck?" She said, "I don't know why you can never remember his name. It's the same as yours. He's out now." When his last parole hearing came near, I wrote a letter to the parole board asking them to release him and send him home to his mother. He was just a child when he went to jail. So many years had passed. I thought it was enough. He had paid enough. We met him last spring. He's moved on with his life. He's doing well. I just looked at her and said, "You really are something, Angel Heart. I don't think there's a mean bone in your whole body." She said, "I have a confession. That night you fought me in front of the kids. I had made up my mind. The next day, I was going to kill you. But then Dina followed me around the whole day, God bless her soul. And then I started to think, well, who would care for my children? And then I thought, the kids might not remember that you fought me, but they would never forget that I killed their daddy. So I made up my mind not to go through with it." And I just told her, "I'm sorry, baby. That was all my fault. It was always me. It was never you." She said, "Oh yeah, you was a mess to tell the captain." I finally told her, "You were my first choice and my best choice."
And she just smiled and asked, "Did you know they hung a painting of Chuck in the courthouse? He is the only deputy juvenile officer in the state of Missouri to ever die in the line of duty." And I said, "Huh? My son was a hero. Goes to show you how much I know about my kids." She said, "Do you know how many kids you have?" I said, 19. She said, "Me and Mama counted 24. I said, "I'll go with the 24. Your mama's better than finding my kids in a bloodhound. She could pick them out of the crowd." Not being there for my children was my biggest sin and my greatest failure. And Shane said, "That's life. Everybody ain't able. Ronnie, you don't gotta feel ashamed or guilty that you couldn't do it." And I said, "You're right, but I am ashamed, and I do feel guilty that I didn't try. And I got to pay for that. Let my life be defined and destroyed by bad habits. And now the chickens have come home to roost. And I can't outdance, outrun, or outlive the truth. What is I'm gonna do? Standing in the road? Don't know where to go? Then I heard them say, "Humble. It's the way."
Welcome. Nice to see you all. Thank you all for coming today. Nice to see you. Thank you all for coming today to experience a day in the life of RT. And I'm so excited to have you all with me today, so I'm going to get my day started. Turn on these monitors. All right, we will begin our live radio broadcast in just a moment. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we are on the air. Habit. To perform an action or actions repeatedly, such as the process to learn by doing and therefore become. Our habits shape every part of us, the brain, the body, and the being. The old Russian proverb says that we are saying as we are doing. Good habits form a strong foundation worthy of a great empire or mighty kingdom. Bad habits rob you of clarity, purpose, accomplishments, and everything else. Now, as they say in the streets, see, a bad habit is like life, putting you on a racetrack to see if you can outrun death. Yeah, imagine that. Death, the ultimate trickster with no sense of humor. The final curtain call, knocking hard against your heart. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Time to pay the piper and the band. You better open the door, I know you're there. It's time to do the boogaloo. No worries, don't be afraid. All the arrangements have been made. No second chances, no do-overs, no repeats or reprises. Don't try to hold on to your goodbye, that's gone. Remember me? I'm the old friend who brought you in. And now that the hands on your clock have stopped, I return to take you out. So, the moral is, good habits make good people. And time is a treasure you must spend while you still have it. Bip, bip, cheerio, this, that, and the third. We conclude another broadcast of Mind Walkers. Plugged straight into the mainframe, rocking it to the sockets, negative to positive, tiptoeing through the cavernous cavities and the deepest recesses of the human mind and the cerebral challenge for truth. Bringing it to you real and raw, hit us up and let us know. Ooh, what a cool-ass way to start the day. I take a moment here to order breakfast and lunch, and with the touch of a button, my time card is punched. How cool is this? Freelancing with A-list internet moguls. I'm getting them, baby. And I don't even have to dress for work. I just send it in and get paid, which frees me up to rock my own product and do my own thing. Oh yeah, my dream life, my dream job, my dream home. and my dream girl. My mom says, keep on dreaming because none of it's real. She's like, she and my grandmother say, you don't have any friends. But I have 400 Facebook cooties and I'm like tweeting all day. She think I don't get out. See, but with the touch of a button, I can virtually travel and experience almost any place in the known world with a new program I have called the Global Galactic Grooving. I also have a personal program. It's a holographic for intimacy. Hey, yo, you haven't lived till you dated Minnie the Maid. A holographic chick with 8 tongues? Whoa. Bet you can't do that again, man. Oh, woo, woo. She comes with some extra that I cannot mention right now. But you get the idea. This girl really knows how to turn it up. Wow. My mom says, son, that is not normal. But I assure you, for a red-blooded American boy with lots of time to kill and lots of cheddar to do away, it's all very normal. On the real. See, I've been sexing and texting this girl who seems freaking awesome. She appeals to me like a straight-up serious, sweet little honey dip, and I especially like how honest she seems to be. But there's only one problem. She's presently incarcerated for fraud. She ain't overmade out of their money. But hey, that's what's up. See, my company fine-tunes the best in technological and futuristic programs and the apps that open and drive them. These programs keep our servicemen and women turned up on the hottest of hookups, especially in places like Afghanistan and Iran, where everything moves like a slow boat to China. Hey, we all gotta do our part. Check it. I recently engineered a new music program called Body Waves. The music travels through light waves inside a circular rotation in a virtual chamber. My mom says back in her day, they had music that made their bodies move all by itself. She said we need to do like James Brown. Get up, get into it, and get involved. Now, I have no problem with that. I'm cool with that, but just have one question. Who the hell is James Brown? Whatever. She and my grandmother are always saying that the good reverend says technology is moving too fast and the mind is moving too slow. Do the math, do the math. Well, I beg his pardon. Now I'm actually like doing the math, and obviously quite well. I recently joined the online gambling club and have made in excess of $600,000. These games were created by racial experts like myself who say that I'm a mathematical genius. They also say that I'm very lucky. Now, all I can say is I know how to work the numbers, and if luck was a number, you bet I worked that one too. My grandmother overheard me and said, okay, Mr. Wizard, with the world at your fingertips, name me 2 things that the human mind can do that a computer can't. I scratched my head looking for the answer. I said, what? She said, first of all, RT, never ask or answer a question in a one-word answer. It makes people think you're probably stupid, impaired, or even worse, just have very bad manners. Secondly, the right answer is create and imagine. Create and imagine. Imagine and create. Now say it with me, son. Create and imagine. Now doesn't that sound nice? If you all don't get offline and back into the real world, you're going to be sorry because it's going to die if you don't start taking care of it. I said, people have been saying that for years, and we still out here rocking it out. Everything we need to know is in these books. And just like everything else in the world today, every book can be found and read online. I'm like, you don't even have to read it anymore. There's apps and audio versions for it. Just be happy for us. It's our time, our day, and we're doing things our way. My grandmother looked at me sharply and said softly, Ronald Theodore, come in and open up them big ears and listen. You did not read, listen to, or share the book that I'm talking about because that book ain't been written. Remember what your great-granddaddy Jake said. Now, humble is the way I'm broke. I mean, like, yo, for real. I'm so tired of y'all using that phrase like it's some magical word gonna take you to some perfect place where everything is just as good as gold. Now, I'm not trying to put him on blast or anything, but Big Jake worked for the owner and the company. I am the owner and the company. Big Jake worked out in the fields. I am a sought-after commodity in my chosen field for which I am handsomely compensated. Big Jake couldn't read or write. My IQ is off the charts. Big Jake had a house and a wife full of kids, but the only problem with that is that he, his wife, and all his kids lived in somebody else's house. I own my house. And when I find my queen, it'll be hers and she'll be mine. Something told me I probably shouldn't have said any of that. I wish I would have listened. My grandmother sprang into a light barrage, which without warning, turned into a full-scale attack. Yeah, Big Jake worked in the fields, and he was known as the best field hand in 4 counties. Whatever job you're blessed with, you do it with pride, and you do it with dignity. He worked hard to feed his family and kept them together during some real tough times. And he did such a good job that allowed your daddy and your daddy's daddy to be born, and I'm pretty sure you can finish the math. My mother parachutes in with open air assault. Yeah, he couldn't read or write, but he was very smart. He took everything available to him and used it to his advantage. Knew the love of one amazing woman and made his business to love her and keep them safe and happy for the rest of their lives. I said, I get it. All right, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Big Jake made it possible for me to be here. Well, I guess a little bit of my gravy got all over their eyes because they both ran out of here like their head was on fire, still fussing without saying goodbye. Who knows? They probably just going to the boat. See? They think I don't know it. But the real issue here is their well-intended, yet completely unsuccessful attempts to pry me out of my man cave, more commonly known as my bedroom, or away from my battle station and control post, more commonly known as my computer. See, they just don't get it. I have everything I need right here. Whenever you get through, and it's all said and done, and this new world order, there can only be one. I, myself, and me. Having it my way, like at Burger King, a fierce experience or a funky fling. Hanging with the homies or the billionaire blank. Make the air ring-a-ding-ding and the keyboard sing. Listen, hips and chips, fish and chips. I got the whole world at my fingertips. I'm sending roses to Venus and a date with Serena. A hook a live feed in a garden arena. I'm chilling in the court with Jay and his girl Bella Beyonce. Queen of the world, the outrageous Miss Jones and all the grace. Bringing down the house and setting fire to this place. This K and Kirby Kim. Coconut Nice ain't a cool ass brim. Sample free, the hottest EDM craze on virtual tour and the festival and the rave. Writing codes for high-end celebrities. Secretly, discreetly storing their privacy. I would if I could if I would. Get all of that. Goody, good, good, good. I said I would if I could. I could if I would. I would if I could. I could if I would. I said I would if I could. I could if I would. Get all of that. Goody, good, good, good. Man, flips and trips, chips and chips. I got the whole world at my fingertips. Grand poker tournament and I'm all in. I know the odds and we're going to win. Drop box my briefs at the World Assembly. Saves me a presentation at the Wimberley. Predict Olympic gold on graphs and charts. Spain and Portugal for the World Cup. Greenspan followed my lead in enforcing. Computer programs online endorsing. My point spread for the Packers and Patriots. My Super Bowl pick for the Broncos and Giants. It seems like everybody wants to be me. Because I'm a real live walking, talking money tree. Ha! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold on. Venus and Serena's boyfriend sent me a courtesy email. If you ask for any more dates or send any more flowers, this will be the last date you ever make, and those flowers be used for your funeral. Jay came me with the cease and desist order for the video taken at the garden. Miss Jones has informed you of an impending lawsuit. K and Kim want full rights to be joining Miss Jones in the class action against you. Coco's rep called to say that if you want to get a head start, you better take off now because Ice is going to ice you when he catches. I don't believe this. Let me put this on speaker. We regret to inform you that your computer has been hacked. All holographic backup and innovation programs have been compromised and or destroyed. No, not my minute to maid, no. Be informed that all protocols for secure codes have been compromised, as well as all client profiles, public and private. Your company may be held liable for all losses to the fullest extent allowed by law. Hack. It's a full-scale attack. Haters on parade, haters on haterade. Nothing left on the rack, the train's running off the track, nobody's got my back. Hack. It's a hack. $1 million has been retracted from your online account.
Must inform you that your mechanical contest installed into default, and you are not eligible for another seat at the tournament without additional ante of $1 million. Also, the IRS has contacted us for a full financial profile for which we comply. They'll be contacting you in the very near future concerning untaxed revenue. Have a good day. Response required. You must present your briefs on variation in ratio to the World Assembly in person. Please note any use of electronic equipment is strictly prohibited. The Olympic Committee and FIFA wants to speak to you regarding your predictions for the World Cup and possible inside information. The Ways and Means Committee is launching a full investigation inside of trader practices concerning stock tips given to Greenspan by your company. Hey, boy, genius. The online point spread you came up with in the Super Bowl pick 2 weeks later made a few people very rich and a lot of people very broke. You got a lot of explaining to do to the commission, bookies. You know, yeah, the boys in Vegas, and they're not happy. It'd be a good idea to disappear before they get there. Which we estimate is right about now. Fourth quarter. As the clock just ran out, and the horn blows, I can see us crystal clear what Granddaddy Jacob's talking about. No matter if the whole world tumbles, no matter how hard we stumble, we can always find hope in a place called home. Well, excuse me. As you can see, I gotta run. But before I go, I want to know and ask you what it is I'm going to do. Standing on the road. Nowhere to go. Then I heard them say, humble is the way.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds are white, the bright sacred day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
all very much for coming out tonight, this afternoon actually. My name is Ward Nixon, I'm the director. So this is the last show for the festival for us, and traditionally we always give thank yous, as you know, for the last show. So tonight is no exception. We'd like to thank Robert, who is part of the Hudson Yield Theater. He's the person you saw at the front door, and he's part of this festival, the Hudson Yield Theater Summerfest. So we thank you for your hospitality. We'd like to thank the videographers, Michael and Eudora Tucker of Teacup Productions, the videotaping show. And we worked very, very hard on this piece. Art is to be shared, and I'd like to thank the cast. I have a reputation of being hard, but hard work always pays off. So I'd like to thank Robert. Ray Gordon. We'd also like to thank each and every one of you. Art is to be shared. But without anyone to share it with, what's the point? There's none. You can work on something, work on something, work on something, work on something, but it's to be shared. And had you all not come out this afternoon, we would have had no one to share it with. This is New York City. You could have found any place to go on a beautiful afternoon, fall afternoon like today. But you came out to see us. And we really appreciate that. So we thank you for coming out. And last and certainly not least, we'd like to thank the producer and playwright of That Book Ain't Been Read.
And this is my story, and our story. It's so important that we write down our stories, and that we're able to look at ourselves and see how we are, the human condition, and how we can change, and how we can make our world better for ourselves. And I don't know the future, or where there is when we get there, but I know one thing: humble. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for all your hard work, because all through and keep you, and let's keep going. Have a great journey home. Thank you for coming. I hope to see you again.